Hey, welcome back to another episode of Forex Tech Magazine. It's your host, Lewis. Hope you all are doing well. This is Monday, December the 3rd, 2018, last month in the year. So, hey, if you're going to get it right, now's the time to get it right because the year's almost over with, right? So, before we get too far into this, what I want to do today, I want to go ahead and put out that disclaimer. Disclaimer goes a little something like this. Any and all information given to you by Forex Tech Magazine should be considered for the purposes of educational and entertainment purposes only. None of the information that we give you should be considered to be investment advice. If you're in search or in need of legal or financial advice, our suggestion to you would be to seek out a licensed, competent advisor. So now let's get right into what you came here for. Some trades. As you can see, we do not have any trades open right now as far as in the position column. Let's look at what we did have and see how it turned out. The last one we was trading in was the Great Britain Pound Aussie Dollar, and our take profit was our take profit was down here on the support line, and as you can see, as of the day, our take profit was hit, and then the position was closed out, and we actually closed that one out for about $12,000, almost $13,000 worth of profit right there. So that was a pretty good one, right? We ended up positive for the week, of course, with that trade. It's not reflected in this. What was I say? I don't think it's reflected on here. This right here just shows like some negative trades that we had over last, but it hasn't updated as far as. Yeah, so I think it was a 12,000. Yeah, so 274 and a half pips off that one trade alone, and you generate 12,000. It's like $1,500 or whatever. $12,150 something. But we ended up, and this number right here, I don't believe this right here is the actual total. I gotta say we calculate that up. I don't think it's giving us credit for what we got. That probably switch over as of 5 p.m. today. But at any rate, it was a good trade. Made good money, right? And now we're on to the next trade, and that just kind of, we can stop for a second. It kind of goes back into what we were saying earlier about taking losses and whatnot. If you learn how to control your losses and take calculated risk, there are opportunities to go out here and make money in the market. You just got to watch for them, and you can't get too overzealous, can't get too anxious, and you just can't get too up or down about a trade. Money's made and lost every day in the market, and you just got to be prepared to get in there and make yours. Okay. Now today, we're not going to be in here too long. It's going to be another one of those quick ones today, just because we're not in a position, and I don't anticipate going into a position probably maybe until about Tuesday or Wednesday. And the reason being is because there's some news that come out over the weekend. We really want to kind of see how it's going to shape the market over the next 48 to 72 hours, and one of which is the announcement that they're holding, the announcement of the NAFTA deal, right? Everything should be finalized with that, and that the new one should be going in place. So this should definitely affect the some currency pairs. And then also the biggest one though is the ceasefire with the tariffs between China and U.S. Right, so that should give way to a market rally today in the U.S. stock market, right? And it should also positively affect some currency pairs, and of course positively negatively affect some other ones. I'm anticipating right now risk is going to be on in the market, so therefore, anything that's tied with the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen, or Swiss franc, if it was trading dollar heavy, or or Japanese or yen heavy or franc heavy, probably look for it to reverse today, possibly, just because of I think it's going to be a risk on. It may be for the rest of the week. Let me check see what we got here for the economic calendar this week too. That'll really help us determine what we should, if anything, be trading. Let's see next week. Here. getting close to the holidays, so just kind of expect some things. Yeah, it's going to be moving the market, but maybe not as much because right now a lot of people have already started closing out their positions, getting ready for 2019. So there's money in the market, but there's also opportunity to get whipsawed in the market. So definitely be careful while you're trading. Looks like we got some major announcements coming out of Canada. Got the IMS coming out of ISM coming out of the US. Construction, PMI, Great Britain, GDP for the Aussie, ADP employment, US, Canada rate decision. Okay, so this is definitely going to be a hot week right here. I can look at this already tell. Definitely a lot of things to move the market here. Potential to make a ton of money, also potential to lose a ton of money here. So if you're going to be trading this week, just be careful. Keep your eyes wide open. Personally, be a tough week to trade. You may even be better off just waiting until the new year to get back in when you got plenty of liquidity in here. The good thing about this versus the equity markets is that the world markets are constantly churning, whereas the equity markets, because people do tend to pull back towards the end of the year because they're trying to close out positions for tax purposes or whatever, or just trying to show up their portfolios, it can get a little tricky because it can be like a reduction of liquidity in the markets around this time. But the currency market seems to be fairly liquid as long as it's not a major holiday. So, probably continue to move forward. Also, too, we'll be start looking at potential U-turns coming up for the year that's coming, because typically around this time, currency pairs make either their high or their low, so that way they can start off the next year at some point. And as you can see right here, this is what I'm talking about. It says right here, this currency pair is Great Britain Aussie dollar, comes down, and then around about January, in January, it's making these reversals going back up, right? And it does that for about the first half of the year, and then it starts it hits this next reversal point for the second half of the year, right? So you just gotta kind of be careful and be, just kind of watch that. Because like I said, a lot of times people pull out, close out positions this time of the year, and then they look to open them back up around the first of the year. Okay. So that was good. We made money here, but we're not looking to do anything. So there's a gap right here. Remember we always talked about, price tends to close that gap. So just be mindful of that. Price may continue to go down, or it may just hit that gap and continue to go up because we are bouncing off of a support. It's a major support area. All right, same thing here. Price went down, price came back up. And once again, this is off of the news that's transpired over the weekend. Unless you're living under a rock someplace, that the G20 met this weekend. So it's a lot of announcements, a lot of things came out. And then we're still working our way through this Brexit deal. So lots of potential. Once again, this area is moving sideways, hard to trade anyway, but it could be signaling that this price is going to move up. So once again, it's one of the things where we're looking at these currency pairs, and I'll be honest with you, these things don't look like much. And it looks like it may be Great Britain pound may be on the up move, but we have to do a little bit more research before we go in and commit to it. Or if we do decide to commit to it, we want to trade with some tight stop losses just to make sure that if something does happen, that we're not on the losing side of the trade, right? Same thing here. Price went down, came back up, hit resistance, came back down. I didn't make it quite to support, but right now it's kind of like trending sideways. And of course, we're getting a strong move up, which the strong move up could just be from, the excitement from the announcements that happened over this weekend. There are still some announcements that need to come out this week. It's going to give you a little bit more direction as far as which way this currency pair is going to be going. I would probably wait until I get that information before I would decide to trade into these pairs. So, that's why I said today's going to be really light. There's not much to really talk about on these right here. Yeah, I think we're just gonna leave it at that, man. I'm gonna close out of here. Wish you guys the good trading week, good trading day, and I will come back and talk to you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye for now.